Good morning, it's the 4th of December 2019 and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK, and you can see the new Persimmon tree has arrived. So it's a nice looking specimen. It's about 5.5 feet tall, including the pot. Of course it has defoliated because these are a deciduous tree, and all being well it should leaf out in the spring. So it's looking nice, a nice sized trunk, and I'm hoping that within 5 years or so this is going to be fruiting nicely. So just take a closer look at it. So you can see the buds there, look. I hope they are coming into focus. That's your tag. There you go, I'll just pan that down there. So quite a few people are considering growing exotic fruits in their garden or whatever now, and in this country other cold climates, but I think it's very much worth getting into growing exotics. And Persimmon can be described as an exotic in the sense of it's not typically grown here in the UK, although indeed it can grow very well. I'll link a video down below of a mature persimmon tree with lovely fruits already on it, and it adds a nice touch to the garden. And one real nice thing about these is when the tree is defoliated, the fruit remains on the tree and continues to ripen. So you've got these lovely little globe-like fruits when the tree is defoliated. When the garden is not showing a massive amount of colour at that time of year, you are still getting a splash of colour from persimmon fruit. And because they're not typically grown here, quite often people see them as a curiosity, and they're also hardy here in the UK climate. You can leave these trees outside, certainly when they're mature. If you check out that video I'm going to link down below, that tree's been outside for years and years, and during snow spells, whatever, and it does just fine. And of course the leaves are very attractive on these trees, particularly when they turn the autumn colours, lovely purples, reds, deep reds, orange. Really lovely tree, so very much worth looking into, and a lovely taste as well, and incredibly nutritious. So if you want to grow a hardy exotic, if you will, and you've only got room for one tree, or you only want one for whatever reason, a persimmon could be a low maintenance exotic for you to grow for the reasons I have described. So this isn't the only persimmon I've got. So Rojo Brilliante, it's a nice tree, a nice variety. So if you've purchased persimmons from the shop, there's a high chance they were indeed Rojo Brilliante, because it is a commercial variety, or at least grown commercially, and to me that indicates it's got good keeping qualities, travels well, and is a reliable cropper. So there we go. So I've got another persimmon down here, although much smaller than the other one. You can see this one here, and this is variety Fuyu. So hopefully in a few years these trees will come into their own and will be absolutely amazing trees, and I'll be growing lovely beautiful persimmon here. So yes, that's one direction I'm hoping that the project here is going to be taking, but of course it's going to take time. What am I going to do with the persimmon tree? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is pot it up into a bigger pot so it can spray its roots out when the tree starts growing next year again in the spring. But they benefit from a nice warm microclimate, okay? South-facing wall or fence, or growing them in a greenhouse. It'd have to be a cold greenhouse or a polytunnel during the winter period, because they require dormancy in order to fruit, like a plum or an apple or a cherry wood, pear, whatever. But I'm considering growing it here in a pot. You've heard me explain how I'm going about this permaculture orchard project. I'm going to be burying the pots in the ground, 30-litre pots with a good growing medium in, about 2/3 in the ground and about 1/3 above, so it can still put their roots down into the ground to obtain more water and nutrients, etc., whilst disturbing them every year, so that so they don't take root in the ground. So yes, very, very good indeed. That's what I'm hoping, and I think it'd be a very nice specimen tree here. And it does get a good degree of sunshine. Your persimmon really does want to be in the sunniest possible place you can put it if you're going to have one, because if you think about where they traditionally grow, like the Mediterranean climate, for instance, a lot of the ones that you buy in the shops will be from Spain, where they have much longer growing seasons, and particularly the fact that they ripen into well well into the winter. You know, you want it to be having as much sun as possible throughout the season. So yeah, an intriguing one to grow. Maybe a good way of looking at a persimmon, you could say, you know, treat it how you would grapes, something like that, to give them that extra microclimate, thus to help increase ripening. So there we go, that's what's going to happen. So if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. And I'm getting some lovely comments, people that are, you know, really getting into getting their gardens set up for the following year, you know, with regards to exotics or whatever reason. So if you're getting new exotics and whatever they may be, oranges, avocados, mangoes, persimmons, whatever, or indeed whatever you're buying for your project, please feel free to post down below. I'd love to hear what you're up to, and if you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram. See you later.